Hey, welcome to another edition of GunWriterTV. At popular request, Mike and I are going to go through all of these new gun bills that are out.
How many emails and calls have you gotten saying Stubby's sold out?
Oh, too many.
Yeah, I mean, I knew this wasn't happening. I knew
fiction.
He wasn't selling out. Yeah, and everybody's like, that's the only reason why I voted for him, and blah blah blah. The guy's working, man. The guy is working.
What happened is he introduced SB 140, which was an omnibus bill.
Yeah,
it contained everything we want.
Everything in it, yeah.
Everything we want. Open carry, legislative carry, airport carry. Unfortunately, for some lawmakers, it was a bit too much to swallow. Mm-hmm. So what he did, the bill's open carry is not dead.
No.
What he did is he broke out the chunks out of the omnibus bill and introduced them as separate bills. And we're going to go through them because some of them are a little confusing.
Yeah.
610 is the one I wrote about, and I love it. It holds a business accountable. If they want to establish a gun-free zone and God forbid something bad happens, they can be held civilly liable. I know you like this one.
I do. It's kind of a double-edged sword again, but I mean, I think it's neat if a business says I'm not welcome in there with my firearm. I usually take my business elsewhere anyways.
Exactly.
But if it is a business that, I really need to use and they make me disarm and they don't have any metal detectors or other security guards and something happens and I can't protect myself, yeah, you're going to be held liable for it.
Now, just to be clear, if there's a no-gun sign and you go in there with your firearm, are you breaking the law?
No, not in the state of Florida.
But what happens if somebody says, hey, I think you're carrying, you need to go?
You can be asked to leave and you have to leave. And if you make a stink about it, then you can be trespassed.
Armed trespass.
Yeah, and well, you have to have the trespass warning first.
Right.
And then if you come back and you're armed, it's armed trespass. That's a felony. You lose your guns.
So
don't try to keep it real on that one.
No. 0616, I kind of like. It allows you, if you go to a courthouse, it allows you to contact management or the security there and say, hey, I'm carrying. I'd like to surrender my pistol. They will take it and lock it up for you while you're in the courthouse.
This happened to me one time. I had to go down the street here, and the parking garage is like a mile away.
Oh yeah.
So I parked my vehicle and I just disarmed my firearm. I take my gun apart and store it all over my truck, so it's like an erector set to try to put it back together again if you break in. But I forgot my Leatherman, so I had my Leatherman on me, and I go to walk in, and beep, no, I took it out, put it in the thing. He goes, you can't come in here with that Leatherman. I go, can you hang on to it for me? He goes, if I hang on to it, I'm keeping it.
Oh.
So I went outside, looked at a bush, kicked some dirt over, threw it under the bush and buried it and handled my business, and then came out and unearthed my Leatherman because I wasn't walking a mile back.
Here's a pro tip for somebody who has locked up their guns on a lot of occasions. If you're going to put your gun in a locker, put your car keys in there with it so you don't forget and drive away and leave your pistol.
That's a great idea.
I know a few officers who actually were backing me on calls with empty holsters because they'd gone into booking, they'd booked their inmate, left and forgot their pistol.
Oof.
So if you lock up your pistol, put your car keys in there. That's a good pro tip.
That is a good tip.
618, airport carry.
Airport carry.
Love it.
I don't know where I've been. I must have been under a rock or something because I thought you were allowed to carry your gun into the airport except for the non-sterile part. Like if you got a ticket and you go.
Yeah.
Then I went back and read the Gottmacher book and they changed it because when I first got my carry permit, you were allowed to go up and actually hug your loved one that was leaving, and then they go through the TSA. You were allowed to be in there, and now you're not. So I was wrong on that.
Well, now if this passes and is signed into law, you can carry in ticketing, you can carry in baggage claim. We all know the recent terrorist attack that would have been thwarted if there would have been a good guy with a gun there.
Yep.
626. Interesting. Oh, I'm sorry.
620.
620.
Legislative carry.
Allows lawmakers to carry, allows you to go in and carry while you're sitting in a hearing. Mm-hmm. And the next one, 626.
And these aren't new laws. They're all over the country, and there's no blood in the courtrooms.
No.
Okay? I mean, there's more assaults that happen in a courtroom than anything.
Right. 626 would take that and bring that down to the county level, school district, municipalities, any kind of hearing. We recently went to a hearing in the city.
Well, could you imagine us scary-looking people if we actually had arms in there?
I think both of those laws are great.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
all the way down to a career center at SB 0640, like Jobs, Etc. and stuff.
Which, what he's doing, Greg's intent is to eliminate gun-free zones.
Yes.
And that's fantastic.
Yes.
644 is open carry.
Open carry.
Allows you to carry openly.
Yeah.
Your thoughts?
There's 4 places in Florida you're allowed to already, and we don't have blood in the streets or in the woods. While camping, while hunting, while fishing, or while at a sporting event that involves shooting that you are an active participant in. That's a long one. And it also says to and from.
Yeah.
Right? So we already have open carry in those 4 instances in the state of Florida, and we don't have issues with it. The one thing I do love about this open carry, it stipulates you still have to take a firearm safety class.
You have to have a concealed weapons license.
I mean, because that way you don't have just some guy, thinking he knows, because we get them in the shop all the time. They're pointing guns at everybody. They got their fingers on the trigger. I don't want that guy open carrying without a class.
No.
So it's kind of neat. You still have to have a carry permit. And then, of course, we got our diehard Second Amendment supporters, which I am a diehard Second Amendment supporter, but I think if you're going to carry openly in public, you need some retention classes.
Good retention holster.
You need some stress classes.
Yeah.
You need, look what happened in Walmart.
Yeah.
Obviously, that guy does not know what he's doing,
No.
right?
No.
We'll talk about that in a little bit, but, he obviously took a class because he had a carry permit.
Right.
But let's just, leave it at that. But I like the open carry. I myself won't open carry.
I won't either.
But I like freedom.
Yeah.
And if you want to be free to open carry, you should be allowed to.
And it meets the definition of bearing arms.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And I do like the fact that it's handguns only.
Yeah.
Okay, we don't need
We don't
AKs
need to get our
and
guns
AR.
with an AK or an SKS going in Chipotle.
No, we don't
Right?
need no tactical AKS or SKS.
Yeah, yeah.
The last bill is kind of a catch-all. It says that if you print or show your concealed carry, you won't be in any trouble, which is
Right.
fine. That's been codified elsewhere.
Yeah.
And what we're calling cabinet carry, if you're a member of the Florida cabinet, you can carry a concealed firearm.
As long as you don't get FDLE protection.
If you don't have 24/7 FDLE, you're okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Overall, I think it's great. I think.
But they're still here. They're not going anywhere.
No.
He hasn't sold out.
No, absolutely not.
He's still with us,
Yeah, he has not sold out. What he's trying to do is get as much through his committee and through the legislature as possible.
Right.
And if they're more comfortable passing these in little bite-sized portions and in one big bill, yeah, granted, the omnibus bill would have been great. Let's get it in there and let's pass it.
Right. I think this is more tactile, more, easier to discuss one at a time rather than a
Right.
big, huge one that people will think is filled with pork.
And like I wrote in my column, the opposition is going to be more diluted. You're not going to get the university chancellors and the campus chiefs of police
Killing the whole thing.
killing the whole thing. They're not going to show up for the open carry. They're not going to show up for a lot of these bills.
Right.
So hopefully we can get these through the committee because a lot of these make sense. And we're the only state that doesn't allow open carry? One of a handful?
Yeah, what is there, 37 or 40, 42 other states that allow open carry?
And
Something
Florida's
like that?
not one of
I think
them.
it's in the 40s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Florida's not one of them. We need
Yeah.
to join. Hey, you got a cool thing starting Friday nights.
We got Whiskey and Weapons on the Young Guns Facebook page, and it's been a big hit. We started it in Vegas, and I
course.
kind of started it last year, but I wasn't drinking whiskey. But we got opening credits. We got the whole 9 yards. It'll be on our YouTube
High
page.
production value.
Yes, yeah, it's pretty cool. We had a night shoot, and we felt like rock stars when the guy came and took pictures of us and stuff. But it's Friday night at 8:45 till whenever. We had it on 2 hours and 40 minutes last Friday night, and the big disclaimer is we don't handle firearms while we're drinking whiskey.
Of course not.
It's just a couple of dudes sitting around drinking whiskey and talking about guns, and we actually take live questions because it's on Facebook.
And you preempted the Gaga halftime
Yes,
show
we had a
last night.
halftime extravaganza last night, and we had some people in there. It was pretty cool.
And I'm sure the ratings will bear out that more people watch Whiskey and Weapons than watch
I'm
Lady
sure.
Gaga.
I'm sure. Yeah, millions and millions.
Millions.
Yeah. So we got a lot of things happening over there. So it's pretty fun. Come
So
check us out.
Check it out. And to some, nobody sold out. These bills are going to become law.
Yeah, Stubby's on point with these bills. I'm real happy with what he's doing, and I'm glad we voted him in.
Thanks, brother.
Thank you. God bless. Long live the Republic, and keep your powder dry.